morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout-out goes to Safe Edits. Safe Edits was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus one's a shout-out, so congratulations! Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a review of a neat new airplane, folks. This is the TopRC Hobby Mini P39 Warbird. Looking at this thing, you'll say, hey, you know, that looks like a lot like the Warbird series from Eachine Volantex, and yeah, it sure does. I don't actually know, folks, if this is made by the same company, but this really, you know, everything on this looks like it was the type of technology that's being used on the Warbird series from Eachine Volantex. So there is some relation here. Okay, I don't know if it's the same company, but there is some correlation. There is an issue regarding binding, you know, using multi-protocol transmitters. I'll bring that up. So that's where I think that this may not be the same company, since it doesn't match the same protocol exactly. In other words, you can't use the Volantex transmitters with this particular aircraft, the Eachine Volantex transmitters, or vice versa. You can't use this transmitter with the Volantex bird. So there is some difference, okay? But let's look at this thing. Very good looking P39, folks. I like the yellow color. That's why I picked it. You'll easily be able to see this in the sky. Really nicely streamlined aircraft, the P39. I like all the decals on this. A lot of decals on this on both sides. Pretty looking plane. Okay, in other words. There is another version, by the way, of the P39. There's a green version that they're selling. I didn't like that. In other words, it's pretty bland looking. Okay, that's the Warbird, the P39 Warbird, but this is the P39 stunt plane that's also available. Let me turn that box around. So that's the one I got. Okay, that's the one I wanted to review and select it for review. So, okay, let's talk about it. As with the other Warbirds, this thing's powered by a 1020 motor in the front here, very powerful motor. Brushed motor, though. It will fail eventually, but if it does fail, you can replace it by removing this hinge here, and that gives you access to the motor. The propellers on these are snap-on, snap-off breakaway propellers, just like the other Warbird series. So if you do have a failure, you can replace that propeller. I do have a spare propeller. I didn't bring it down here, unfortunately, but I do have a spare propeller to go out in the field in case I do lose or break this propeller when we go flying. It's constructed of flexible EPP, crash-resistant EPP foam, so this should take a beating. But as with all the aircraft that I recommend when you go flying, fly in a grassy field, folks. You'll thank yourself, because everybody crashes. I don't care how good you are. Everybody crashes. And crashing in a grassy field is a lot better than crashing on asphalt or concrete. That will damage this plane if you do crash on asphalt or concrete. So just bringing it up. Okay, I did mention it came with a spare propeller. There are two-plated propellers available on this particular aircraft. Let's see, other things about it. There are 3 flight modes that this aircraft can fly. As with the Warbird series, the same flight modes. There's beginner, where it is stabilized and has angle restrictions and roll, so it can't roll over or can't flip over, or pitch over, in other words, with those angle restrictions turned on in beginner mode. But you can also select mid mode. There's a mid mode where you can actually do roll or loops with the aircraft. It turns off the angle restriction for pitch, so you can do loops with the aircraft, this particular aircraft. And there is expert mode, which turns off the stabilization system entirely and enables you to do full manual flying and full manual acrobatics if you wish to do so with this particular aircraft. Additionally, there's a button on the controller, and we'll talk about that here shortly, where you can press the button and it will automatically do a roll or a loop by just pressing that button and then moving your stick to the left or right, and it'll roll in that direction, or do a loop if you pull back on the stick. So that's pretty cool too with this particular aircraft. Other things about it, this does not have the auto takeoff capability of the Warbird series, where that'll go up and do a let's see, circle in the sky after you press the button. It'll automatically take off and do that. This does not have that particular function, so I'm not going to bring that up. It does have one key return. You set the direction that the aircraft is pointed at takeoff by pushing up on this button here,
And when you want it to fly the opposite direction, you pull down on this button here, and the aircraft will turn around and fly the opposite direction that it was pointed in takeoff. Now that is not one key, or that's not return to home, folks. That is just called one key return. All it does is fly the opposite direction it was pointed at takeoff. There is a chance that it can fly away from you if you're either to the right or the left or behind you, your position when you activate that. So don't, in other words, don't rely on that to bring it home to you. Let's talk about other things about it. Let's just take a closer look at it. Now, it is a 4-channel aircraft, as I mentioned, or maybe I did not, or I failed to mention that, but that means you have throttle control, you have aileron control of this particular aircraft, you have rudder control, and you have elevator control. So true 4-channel control of this little 400 millimeter wingspan aircraft. So it should be a lot of fun to fly. Now, I mentioned protocols quickly. This uses V761 protocol, but it will not bind to my jumper, okay? Or it will not bind to other Volantex transmitters, Volantex eSheen transmitters. And the reason being, folks, it's using new OpenTX multi-protocol firmware, which is version 1.3.3.7, okay? So if you want to fly this with multi-protocol, you're likely going to need to update the firmware on the multi-protocol firmware on your particular multi-protocol transmitter. Okay, and it's still using V761 protocol, but there's a new sub-protocol called TopRC. There's 3-channel, 4-channel, and there's TopRC. So there's three different protocols under V761. Mine only has the 3-channel and the 4-channel. It does not have the TopRC sub protocol, so I can't bind it right now. Okay, I will update this in the future, but I'm not going to do it for the review, okay, because I want to get this review out tomorrow if I can. So that's why we're going to be flying it without the sub protocol added, put into it. Let's go over the controller. I forgot to mention the controller buttons and that. What we have in the controller, it's very similar to the eSheen Volantex, but it is somewhat different in shape. We have the same buttons for the acrobat feature. You press this button while it's flying, and then you can tell it to roll or tell it to loop by pulling back on the stick like so. It does have the beginner, expert, and intermediate mode. However, I think they're reversed here. Expert is all the way forward, mid position, where you have where it turns off the angle restrictions. On pitch is center position, and beginner position, where it has angle restrictions in both pitch and roll, is all the way forward toward you. This is of course, since this is a 4-channel aircraft, and it's mode 2, by the way. This is throttle, this is yaw, this is pitch, and this is roll of the aircraft, or throttle, rudder, elevator, and aileron. Okay, in other words. It does have trim buttons for yaw, and it does have trim buttons for pitch and roll. And of course, this is your on-off switch here. It is powered by 4 AA batteries. Now, I got cheap dollar store batteries in here, but this does come with, hold on, I'm going to go get the rest what this comes with. So hold on, folks. Okay, I got everything that it comes with here. I forgot to mention that here's that spare propeller that I've mentioned it comes with this particular aircraft. But this is what I want to show you. It actually comes with batteries included, folks, for your transmitter. So you don't need to go out and buy your own batteries for the transmitter. Let's talk about what else it comes with. You get the box, you get the aircraft itself, you get the instruction manual. It's a well-written instruction manual. And you get this addendum, which talks about that new protocol, that new sub-protocol, TopRC sub-protocol. So again, if you want to use your multi-protocol transmitter, you're likely going to need to update the firmware on it to the new V.1.3.3.7 multi-protocol firmware for your particular multi-protocol that you have. You get the airplane again. You get 2 batteries. These are 400 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt batteries. They're supposed to give you about 15 minutes of flight time per battery, which is great. That's great flight time. You get this little cable for receivers. You can use your own receiver, folks. That's DSM or S-Bus receivers with this particular aircraft. Again, you get the spare propeller, and you get this battery charger for these batteries, a little USB-style battery charger. You can charge these particular batteries in your laptop if you so wish, because they're very low power. as compared to other batteries where you might have to use a high power wall charger, phone wall charger. But in this case, you can use your USB port on your computer. And you get the transmitter. So that's what comes in the box, folks. Neat looking airplane. I can't wait to go out and fly it. It really looks like it'll be a screamer. I want to see how fast it flies. I'm gonna give it a lot of downward trim and see what we can do with this particular aircraft. So let's take it out in the field, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy these flights. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the inaugural flight of the P39 here at beautiful Pleasant Ridge Park here in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm down here at the far end of the park because there's a bunch of kids over there making a lot of noise up by the, what do you call that, playground. So we're going to stay down here to reduce the noise. Okay, to get this in the air, we need to first plug in the battery, and then turn on the transmitter. Okay, I'm going to plug in the battery, and then close up its door. Place it on a flat level surface, turn on the transmitter. And we are bound, checking the surfaces, left turn, right turn, aileron roll, left rudder, right rudder, and down elevator, up elevator. We should be good to go. Okay, we got it set to beginner mode. I got it all the way pointed toward me. That switch there. Wind's coming from my back here, so let me give it some throttle here and throw it into the wind. Ooh, it's a fast plane. And it needs some upward trim, by the way. Downward trim is not so, it was trimmed slightly downward, but we're going to fly it around beginner here. Oh, it's a smooth flyer. This is beginner mode banking, folks. Look at that thing bank. In beginner mode. Okay, go into mid mode. Give it a throttle. Oh boy. That thing climbed. Let's try it again. Let's try to do a loop. I'm in mid mode. Doesn't let you do loops in mid mode. What's up with that? Hold on. Let me double check that I am in mid mode. It does steep climbs, but no loops. Why is that? Don't know. Going to expert. There you go. Better bring back over here. I'm too far away. Okay, going to expert. Okay, I'm in beginner mode again. So mid mode, it's not like the mid mode on the Warbirds. The mid mode on the Warbirds let you do here. That's an automatic one. The bank angle is real steep on this in mid mode. Let me try it around, trying those yaw turns there. But yeah, so if you want to do loops and rolls, you got to use the automatic feature. Let's try it actually, coming around here and bringing it down lower toward me. I'm way up there. Oh! Just barely did that loop, folks. So this is a fast flyer. But again, I don't know, you know, the mid mode, it doesn't let you do loops like the Warbirds. I'm kind of disappointed in that. But that's okay, I guess. Let's go down this way, coming around. Give it some speed. I'm trying to do a roll. Don't want to roll now. Okay, let's bring it to beginner mode and bring it down here close. We'll fly real close now. I've been flying too far away. Okay, beginner mode. Just barely giving it any throttle at all. It is a pretty bird though, isn't it? In that yellow. But why won't it do it? It won't do stunts anymore. So this, you know, I know there's power left in it. There we go. Got it to do a left roll. Left roll. Let's see if I can do a left roll coming toward me here. There we go. Did a left roll over my head. Oh man, that's a loop. That's the loops it does. They're pretty poor loops, by the way. Loops overhead. That's the automatic loops, folks. Again, the mid mode, I'm disappointed here that it won't let you do loops like the Warbirds, but that's okay, I guess. Trying to keep it close because this is hard to keep close because this one's kind of fast, even in beginner mode. Indoor flyer, I don't know. It's got, you have to be pretty good to fly this indoors and not hit something. But then again, it does have extreme bank angle. Look at that in beginner mode. Going back to mid. Let's see the bank angle in mid mode. That seems to be about the same. So I'm not sure what's the difference between mid. Ooh, oh, oh. Well, mid let me do that. Okay, so, that was mid mode. It went over pretty easily that time. Let me see if I damaged the propeller. The propeller seems to be bent a bit. Let's see if I can bend it back without snapping it. Okay, looks good. Let's see if this thing's still in one piece after smacking into the ground like that. That was a pretty hard smack. Get some grass out of there. So it looks good. It looks like it might fly again. Let's see. Hopefully it will fly again. Going back to beginner mode. Okay. Let's see if we can get more flight out of this. Yep. That propeller probably should be changed. There it goes again. It just stalled and went into a spin. Okay, with that in mind, let me switch to propellers. That's the second time that did that. So this thing can stall even in beginner mode. Keep that in mind, folks. That was a stall and then it went into a spin. Interesting. So we're going to swap the propellers. I got another one. See if that might be the issue, but that's unusual. So keep in mind, folks, this can spin. You can stall it and spin this particular one, even in beginner mode, because that's the second time I did that. My more experienced viewers out there, what do you think about that? I just stalled and it just went into a spin and went into the ground. But let's try it again with a different propeller, a new propeller. Here we go. Let me snap this off. Okay, new propeller going on. Putting it on there. And we should be good to go. Again. Nope. Oh yeah, there we go. That's nice and smooth. So yeah, keep the speed up on this one and watch those extreme banks because it can stall. If you, I'm kind of surprised. Let me go up. I'm going to keep it up higher, folks. See if I can do that again. See if I can recover from a spin from way up high. Now I can't get it to do it again. I'm trying. There we go. Yeah, you need some altitude. This will stall and spin. If you reduce that throttle, it can't, and make a hard banking turn. Yeah, this will stall and go into a nasty spin. So let you know. So we'll come back down low, and I'm just going to keep the throttle up on this and reduce and try not to make too hard of a turn. Interesting plane. I do kind of like it. I like the colors. So TopRC foray into I'm battling with starlings up there. They don't like me being here. Oh yeah, come on back here and fight it out. We'll fight over it, over the area.
Coming back down. Boy, it glides nicely. Oh, my goodness, that's a nice glider. It glides real nice, folks. I'm still gliding. Still gliding, still gliding. Throttling up. Wow, that was good. So, okay, let's summation what we've learned so far. It can stall, so keep that in mind. Keep 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 it moving, folks. It can stall even in beginner mode. Beginner won't save you unless you're high enough. You're gonna be doing extreme banking and ankle. Here, I'm gliding again. I want to see that glide one more time. That was nice. Dang, it's a nice glider. Okay. Oh, that's because it's streamlined. But again, okay, we can stall it. Next thing we learned is the mid position. Doesn't let you do loops. Like you're back on mid position. Let's fly some more mid, see what we can learn with this. It lets you climb real high, but it won't let you complete the loop. Cutting back throttle and gliding again. Boy, I like this as a glider. It's a real nice glider. Real nice gliding. Throttle back up. So mid position gives you a little more extreme bank angles, but doesn't turn off any of the angle restrictions. Lets you make steep climbs though. Steep straight up climbs, but then it just stops. It won't let you go over. Now, cutting back on the throttle again, gliding more. Gliding. Gliding, still gliding. Cutting or bringing throttle back up again. Let me go up high, folks. I want to try something. Going back up high, coming back, and then come back toward me. Going to expert. Coming back to beginner. It went wonky on me there. I got to center I guess I got to check my surfaces in expert position, make sure they're centered. Okay, coming around again. And gliding some more. The silent plane. So, yeah, it's flying nicely with exception of stalls. Keep that speed up so that don't happen again. Aileron roll, still can do it. Bring it back. It's a fun plane. It's appropriate for beginners. I don't need a super big field. I'm down here in the lower baseball field of the park here. So, but indoor flying, I don't know. It's kind of, you'll have a hard time not hitting the ceiling with this plane because it's kind of fast. Okay, cutting the throttle, gliding again. And throttling up. See if I can do a close in. Do this. I like to do this if I can do it. Until I get dizzy. Whee! Cool, huh? Whee! Okay, that's enough. Whoa, where am I? But yeah, this, it's controllable enough that you can do that with the stock controller. Now, again, I would like, I'm going to have to upgrade the firmware on my jumper transmitters so I can use these TopRC planes, but actually, there's those starlings again. Come back here, starlings. I'll dogfight you guys. Come on. And look at him go after my plane. Come back here. Oh man, I like the Warbird series from Volantex, Ishin, and TopRC. TopRC is entering into the fray with their planes. And to make sure that nobody mistakes that they're the same company as Ishin Volantex, that they're a different company, they went with a different protocol, a slightly different protocol. So no longer can you use the transmitters from each of these, the Volantex and the Ishin with this. Nice plane, deep plane. Going overhead. Okay, coming down again. Starling, come back here, Starling. I'll fight you. They're protective, aren't they, of their area? Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Whoa. Out of power. Well, there's something I didn't know. It does have telemetry, except it warns you right as the battery dies. Okay. But it does have telemetry. I wonder if it has RSSI telemetry too, relative signal strength indicator. Let you know if you're flying out of range. But anyways, the range on this is supposedly out to 150 meters. I can't see you flying this out that far. More than 70, 80 meters, you won't be able to see that, even though it's yellow. Okay, just let you know. It's a tiny little bird. So that's the P39 from TopRC. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.